Hi, everyone, and welcome to Trades of the Week with myself, Dennis, and we also have Keith Sullivan present. And today we are at such an amazing time. Cryptos is at an all-time high. Stocks is at an all-time high, and we are just about to get started. All right, so today we're going to speak about some of the cryptos. We're taking lots of profits today, and we really hope you guys are too. But before we get into this, do make sure if you are getting the results, if you're getting great results, make sure you send an email. If you are a client of ours, make sure you send an email to Gabriella@investment-mastery.com so you can be the client of the week. And we will be proud to have you. And you would become a little bit famous, right? So do make sure you send an email to Gabriella@investment-mastery.com if you are a client of ours and you're getting great results. But I think it's time to get right into it. So we will go through, as usual, stocks, and then we will take a deep dive into cryptos. What are we looking at? What is the market doing? And Bitcoin today, all-time high as well, which is great news. We think there's a lot more to come. But let's start with stocks. So Keith, what are we doing here? So we're looking at the first one here. This is Roundhill Sports Betting and Gaming ETF, and it's going down.
Perfect.
So fortunately,
So yes, with bets, you can see that the market has been, it's finally trading in our direction, which we have been waiting for. So we're around 1% profit, which did take a bit of a while to get to. So we've now moved our stop loss down to break even, which means we have now got a risk-free trade. And if it pushes lower, perfect. We just carry on moving our stop loss down. So that's the first one. The second one that we had was AMN, Healthcare Services.
Holy moly, Keith.
We had a great trade here. And as you can see, the market, it triggered up, so it gave us 3% and then fell during that day. So we made 3% on this one. But this is the consequence or the result of earnings periods, right, Dennis, where the market tends to gap. And in our case, fortunately, the market gapped in our direction. So earnings was positive. The market gapped up, triggered our 3%, and then we had a massive bearish candle, which means there could potentially be a new trade here. But would we take this? Probably not, because we might see it now break a bit lower or retest that support.
Yeah, no emotions, Keith. We want to wait for it to go down to the support level for sure. This is the power of having a take profit in place. The take profit will be up here until it goes up enough, and you remove the take profit and you put a stop loss underneath. So maybe you did that, maybe you put a stop loss underneath, but nevertheless, you have made profits on this. But wait for this to come back. We're never chasing a trade. Write that down. Never chase a trade. If it's not time, it's not time. So this is the first one. So well done, 3%. Is that worth a moo, Keith?
It is. Ready? Moo.
Very good. And next up is EPC, Edgewell Personal Care Company. And what are we doing here?
So with EPC, once again, we are in a long position here. We've now got into our 1% profit. So we've now moved our stop loss to break even. So we've locked this in to become a risk-free trade. But on this one, also just be wary that earnings is around the corner. So the market could be prone to gapping. So having your stop loss at break even is the best bet here, okay? Because you're managing the trade.
Yeah, and a good thing to do as well, if you're a little bit wary about earnings, just to give you, for those of you who are new, earnings shows you how the company is doing. Are they making profits? And they have given you an estimate, but then when it happens, it could be a lot better, a lot worse. So sometimes the stocks really gaps, goes up crazy, goes down crazy. You never know. It gives you an element of surprise, and we want to avoid that. So what you can do is you can look back here previously on previous earnings. You see it gapped up. That would be good if it gapped up. The one before that, it went up a lot as well. The one before that, it also went up there. So the last three and even the last four, it has gone up. So the probabilities are it will go up as well, which would be great news for us. But just to be sure, we'll put a stop loss around break even. So that's earnings. And then we have HESM as well. This is not a moo, this is rather a boo.
Boo, yes.
But actually, I remember we were in this here, and we said, well, if it goes back down, you can get in or put an order around the entry point here. So hopefully you're actually getting in lower and put the stop loss even lower. And if that's the case, you are still in this. And I think this looks like a great trade now as well. But we are out. We have a 1% loss. So that's a boo. So that's it for this week there, right? 2% up. So 3% win, 1% loss. That's how we play it. That's the risk reward ratio. So we made 2%. That being said, what is happening now, Keith? What are we seeing in the market? So let me go to NASDAQ so we can have a look.
Perfect. Thank you there, Dennis. So in regards to the market, what we have seen over the last few weeks is the market has once again been making all-time highs. So this is showing there is confidence in the market. Buyers are coming in to push that market up. And our major indices, as you can see here, our NASDAQ created an all-time high. We saw our Dow Jones looking to do the same. The S&P 500, which is the 500 largest companies in America, once again looking to create the same. So if we look at it technically with the NASDAQ, we are seeing that the market is having a slight pullback, which is natural. The market can't be parabolic, meaning it can't move in one direction all the time. It has to move up, pull back, and continue higher. And that's what we're seeing here. We're seeing a slight pullback, and potentially this market then will pull back and create another new high. Now, with that walking hand in hand, there is some positive news that has come out in America. So you saw that hiring in America has beaten estimates that the economist estimated. So basically, they created more jobs than they estimated to create. Now, what does that mean? More people are becoming employed, and then with that, you are also having less people claiming jobless claims, meaning claiming benefits for not working. So that is showing a strengthening economy. Now, with that, the other side of the coin is there's two major news that is going to come out at the end of the week. The Fed are going to talk about, number one, inflation, meaning how much is it costing for you to buy and use services in America. And they're going to talk about number two, which is tapering. Now, tapering is basically slowing down the stimulus packages. Now, stimulus package basically was giving money to centralized banks to then pump into the stock market to buy assets, which then has pushed the market up. Now, what the Fed are proposing to do, and they were going to look to do this at the end of September, is do something called tapering, which is slowing down the amount that the centralized banks can buy. Now, it doesn't mean they're going to get less money. It means they have to spend it over a longer period of time. Now, what does that mean? It means it's going to cause more stability in the market, so less volatility, and also means the market will carry on going up because the same amount of money is being pumped in. So we might not see as much swings in the market, but we should still see the market being bullish. So this is the good parts of the news. So we will wait to see what happens. But naturally, when tapering does come in play, it would then start to slow down the stimulus packages and then try to stop it altogether. But once again, the Federal Reserve are looking at 2022, quarter three, quarter four, to get this done. Now, if we look at the fear and greed cycle or index in the stocks, Dennis, we can see that the stock market is at extreme greed. Now, remember, when others are greedy, we must be fearful, okay? Because people are buying on FOMO right now. So we must be a bit more conservative in the way that we invest and trade. And as you see from our previous Buffalo trades, we're moving our stop losses to break even as quick as we can. Okay, obviously, when we're 1% in profit, we are locking in profits with VCAs because with extreme greed, we might see a sharp pullback in the market. Okay, so it's good news for America. More people are becoming employed, then more people should be spending money in the economy. But some big news announcements coming out at the end of the week, which could affect the market. So, Dennis, anything else to add?
No, I think that was perfect, right? So the answer to all this all the time is we need to be hedged, right? We're in cryptos, we're in stocks, we don't know what's going to happen. Keith, crystal ball from Amazon has not arrived yet. And we just don't know, and no one knows, right? If they say that, they are guessing. Qualified guesses is what I usually call it. So do make sure you always stick to the strategies. Let's say the market crashes. Let's say we get a big downturn, right, all the way down here, 20% down. Well, it doesn't matter because, yeah, we have some longs, but we're also in a couple of short positions. So they will really play out and give us some good profits. Worst case scenario, we'll lose 1% on our long ones. So do make sure you follow the strategies. So let's move into cryptos. Now, cryptos are really going for it. We just created an all-time high. And I mean, we don't know what's going to happen. We don't know how high it will go. We don't know how far it will go. We don't know when. All we can look at is what have happened in the past. And currently, as we've been speaking about before, we are in these 3 months are usually the most bullish month of the year when we look at this cycle. When we talk about the cycle, it is in relation to the halving. So the halving is when, if you're new to cryptos, is when the supply of Bitcoin becomes less and less. It becomes more and more, but the new amount they release through mining becomes less and less, and it creates scarcity in the market. So now we are in the last 2 most bullish months. It's November and December. So we'll see if it's going to be more or less. Who knows? But with that being said, it's important we do take money off the table. We've done really well. But just because it's fun, what do you see? Where do you see this going in this cycle, Keith? Do you have any qualified estimates here? And so, by the way, guys, this is just guessing, right? We don't know. We can't tell you what we're doing.
100%. As you said, Dennis, my crystal ball unfortunately hasn't been delivered. We got a refund for the previous one because it didn't play out right. Last time we said crypto is going to rally up, trying to push an all-time high, and then all of a sudden we had the dip.
I remember that.
Yeah, it was a funny time. But with crypto, it can go anywhere. There's no glass ceiling with this at the minute. There's nothing technical wise in the past trend that we can dictate this on, right? Mm-hmm. So I could see it pushing higher up to 70,000. Some people say 100,000 by the end of the year. Anything is possible, but it's all about what are we doing if it does continue up. We're taking money off the table. If it then does pull back and fall, if you're not in crypto, then you can start looking at investing, right? So take advantage of this. If you're in crypto, these last 2 months should be bullish. So it should be focusing on taking profits off the table. And then when we see the pullback or retracement, then it's another great opportunity for us to buy. But yeah, I believe around the 70, 80,000 mark is probably the market it will try and push by the end of the year for me personally.
Right. Okay. I might be a bit more optimistic. You've probably seen everything. We've seen everything on YouTube and everywhere from 80,000 per Bitcoin or up to a couple of 100,000 per Bitcoin. But we don't know. I would say around 100,000 is what we have said all the time as well. And but we are taking profits all the way. And the reason I marked these levels, 80,000 or 100,000, those are the Fibonacci extension levels. And all you need to know is that those are mathematical formulas used in trading that dictates where we might see resistance when there is no resistance. This is new territory. So 80,000 and 100,000 would be the 2 next ones. But that being said, we are taking profits. Bitcoin is currently at 100% for us. So we're taking another 50%. We're taking 20%. So every time it reaches 50 and 100% with a CCA strategy, or 150, 200%, we take an additional 20% off the table. So we're going to do that now, and we are moving, Keith. Are you ready?
Here we go.
Move. Very nice. And then we have 2 Solana positions. The other one we bought now in September went down to 32, and now we're up 50% on that. That's with the CCA as well. So we're moving on that as well. Move. And we just keep going, I think, because the other Solana that we bought back in July is up 750. So we are taking another 100% off there, right? So 20 plus 20 every time it reaches that. So it's just a percentage we're taking off. So you see, we're building the cash pile as well in case this is it, in case this is the top. We just never know. So here we go, Keith. Move. Well, let's do a big one soon. We have Ethereum as well, up another 50. We have BNB up another 50%, going higher. And we have VeChain as well, plus 100%. This is with a small cap. But let's move for those together. Move. Very good. And then with BZZ, this is Swarm, is down to 75% drops. We're actually adding to this. So we want to go, I should say, well, why are we getting into this, Dennis, if it's just going down? We just never know. For all I know, this could go woohoo, right? We just never know. So one step at a time here, we're adding to this, which is great. The other ones, not much to do. We're getting close to profit on some of them. And then we have AWACS as well, up 100% for the small caps. We're moving on this one. We're moving on Crypto.com. It's looking really good at the moment, up 100%. And the same with Stacks, up 100% as well, that we bought quite a long time ago. So let's move on those 3 as well, Keith. Move. And we are looking at a lot of cryptos. We're not adding anyone at this very moment. But that being said, we are looking at quite a few that are looking really good. So ADA is one of them. We're finally seeing that is going higher, down 26% still. So I think this is a sleeping giant, but and it's fairly safe as well. So do make sure you research on this. You can buy this with a CCA strategy. Same with XRP. XRP hasn't really broken out yet. We are in this, but from the high over here, it's still down 36%, which is quite a big drop, I would say, from the high. And a lot of cryptos has recovered, gone a lot higher. But the main focus is definitely metaverses, gaming, NFTs, all those things. And we're looking into a lot of cryptos. So do stay tuned for those. But we are in a couple. Axie Infinity, we're in Chili's, is going higher finally. We are in Mana as well, that really went higher. And as we could see, it dropped down now, down 46%. So this is a great one to get into if you're not in it, building a big metaverse, which is basically a virtual game. If you've seen Ready Player One, we spoke about this last week. This is one to look at as well. And then we also have Engine Coin here. But everything is going really well in cryptos. I would say we are seeing that a lot of people are holding cryptos. The money is not leaving the wallets. On the contrary, people are moving and investors are moving money in cryptos from the exchanges to the wallets, right? That is great. And the same with gaming. They're really picking up speed. A lot of investments are coming in this space. Banks are finally, as some of them in US have opened up to cryptos, but they're finally adapting it on a bigger scale as well. So we're going to see what's going to happen here. Anything you want to add on cryptos, Keith, except that we are still bullish both on the stock market and crypto market?
Definitely. So in regards to crypto, it's still very, very bullish. Really good positive news coming out in regards to the market. Obviously, Facebook has adopted the metaverse. You got Grayscale, which is one of the biggest companies or funds where they're investing into crypto. They're adding a couple more crypto assets. So a lot of the bigger players in the market are now taking crypto very, very seriously. And I expect over the next few years, it's going to be mass adopted. Okay, this is still the early phase. We are still seeing that this can push a lot higher, but it's all about looking at the area which is going to grow right now. And that is gaming and metaverses, because that is the area of focus for a lot of people. So remember, the area of focus naturally is the one which grows a bit quicker in regards to some of the coins. So metaverses is the first area. And then within the next month, you might have the new flavor of the month. And we just keep up to date. So keep looking at trades of the week, because we keep up to date with this every single day.
Yeah, very good. And guys, comment below. Are you guys taking profits? Right? Are you making these money? What is your best coin so far? Comment below so we'll know, because we're doing this hopefully to inspire you to save and to invest and make that big difference and shift in your life if you haven't started yet. So it is time to do a deep dive in cryptos for sure, because it is happening. And it's going to continue to happen over the next couple of years. The market is getting bigger, but still has a lot of room to grow. A lot of room to grow. So leaving cryptos, jumping into the VCAs, we are in a lot of positions at the moment, and we have a stop loss on several of them, Spotify included. PayPal is actually down a lot. So this is a great one to get into if you're not into it, or if you're not into it yet, in cryptos as well. So a great way to diversify, to invest in cryptos by not investing in cryptos. And it looks to be down in the pre-market. So we might be looking at a 30% drop. So make sure you have your order ready so you can enter on the way down here. Silver is finally turning. We're soon around break even on pass, which is great news, but hopefully going to go higher as well. A few that we're looking at are Dollar Tree, that we made 20% on that. So it's worth a move as well. It spiked down, and now we made 20%. So here we go. Moo. Very good. And then we have my cowboy is getting really tired here, Keith, I must say.
So it's mine.
Particular profits. We're getting in another time on Vail. It's down 47%. So we're doing a second entry there. And then on MasterCard, we're putting a stop loss around the 23% mark, just below this consolidation here. And we could raise it higher in case we need to. Oh, no, sorry, not MasterCard. MicroStrategy Incorporated, also in cryptos. They're one of the biggest holders of Bitcoin when it comes to companies. And Michael Saylor is the CEO. He just keeps buying, right? Keeps adding to his positions, just as Tesla have done. So MicroStrategy is a great one as well. So congratulations if you made profits here. And also do make sure you comment below. So those are the updates. Basically, we have also PFE. This is Pfizer. We're actually adding a stop loss here as well. We're adding that today. We entered at a 20% drop, putting a stop loss at 15%. Let's see what happens. But Pfizer is also one that we're adding the stop loss on. But that being said, we have done really well, and we are looking at a new one. This is Intel Corporation. Many of you know it, but why are we looking at this, Keith?
So with Intel, as you said, Dennis, everyone knows Intel. It is a blue chip company which is known worldwide. But fundamentally, Intel is pretty strong. So if we can pop over to FinViz for me there, Dennis, and we can look at the fundamentals of Intel. Here we go. So with Intel, as you can see, it's part of the S&P 500. We've got good market cap, good income. It's always positive to see a company having positive income over the 12 months. We are seeing, yes, it is overvalued as a company with a PEG ratio, but naturally your bigger blue chip companies will be classed as overvalued with this, with this ratio. But if we're looking at the good side, we see low debt. We're seeing a good current ratio at 2.1. Okay, meaning they're doubling the amount of equity they're bringing in the next 12 months compared to debt, which is great. We're seeing really good earnings per share. Well, next year is not too great, but the next 5 years looks quite positive as well. But one of my favorite indications is return on assets, equity, and investment. This is showing the effectiveness of the company at generating money within itself. And these are really, really high. We look at 5% as a minimum for us, and this is near enough triple on some of them. So this is the good little area for us. As you can see, earnings per share year on year has been increasing. Sales year on year has also been increasing. So fundamentally, I think the company is really, really strong. Okay. And in regards to the technical side, it's down. If we could go back onto trading view, I think it's down around 20%, 30%, 24%.
24%.
Here we go. So it was at the 30% mark a couple of days ago. So we've got about a 24% drop with Intel, which means we can get into a company which, is still quite fairly valued and now becoming a bit cheaper for us to buy. So then we can get in on the low and market push up higher. But anything to add on that, Dennis?
Well, yeah, if it falls more, we're just going to keep adding, right? And there's two things with the VCAs. Number one, it needs to be a global company. Number two, have products, many different product lines. Now, like, imagine, I think you remember when Samsung, Marks usually do this example, when they had the phone that exploded when you put in the charger. If that was their only product, they would be bankrupt. But it's not. They have a lot of different products globally on the entire planet. Same with Intel. Those are the type of companies we're looking at and investing into when it comes to VCA. So everyone, that was trades of the week. But before we round up, we're going to look at the results. It's the 9th of November today.
Did we forget the Buffaloes there, Dennis? I think we forgot the two Buffaloes, the new opportunities.
No, I don't think so. Did we?
Yes,
we might have. Oh, that's a good one. Let's add those to the mix. So we have FIBK. This is First Interstate Bank System. And we're looking at, we have a nice reversal candle here. And we have the risk reward ratio over 3, which is great news, even 5. So I think this could be a really good opportunity. And we also have CoStar Group, which is also looking really good. Had a good fall in the market, but we have good earnings. Strangely enough, and I think it's on the support, could be a great opportunity as well. And remember, we don't want to have any candles closing below, which we don't have at the moment. This is on the borderline, but let's see what happens today if it pushes a bit lower. So thank you for reminding me, Keith. That's good. And make sure you comment below, guys, as well, if you are getting into these and if you're looking at these as well. Now, before we get into the profits here as well, do make sure that you comment below. Are you taking advantage of all this? Are you getting 6% on Buffalo, for example? Oh, sorry, there you go. Are you getting 2% on Buffalo? That was from last week. 20% on VCA, 300% on CCA, with BNB, Ethereum, Bitcoin making new all-time highs, and with small cap as well, up another 500%. Taking the total of the small cap on the money invested up to 3,220%. So everyone, that was Trades of the Week. I hope you really enjoyed it. And don't forget, if you are getting these results, if you are a client of ours, do make sure you send an email to gabriella@investment-master.com. In the coming weeks, we will go into more cryptos, more stocks. What are we looking at? So if you want to be up to date with everything, having a great portfolio, do make sure you subscribe. Do make sure you hit the like button and also the alarm bell next to it, because then you're going to get notifications when we're giving you an update, so you will have the news firsthand. But with that being said, we really look forward to seeing you next week on Trades of the Week.